Hi and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayleigh and I've been living on narrowboats for nearly 3 years. This is my second boat and I'm doing her up whilst cruising the English and Welsh waterways. So I hope you will subscribe and follow along on my journey. Let's get into the vlog. Guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in last week's video I talked about how I had tested positive with COVID. So I thought in this week's video I would talk about how I managed being ill on my narrowboat, because a few people have asked questions about how you would do that. So yeah, let's get into it. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who has sent messages and well wishes over the last few weeks. I've read every one of them. I haven't been able to respond to everyone because there's been so many, but I have read everyone and thank you very much. When you're quarantining on a boat, it's quite isolating, as you can imagine, so it was really nice to read those messages. So yeah, thanks again. So when you live on a boat versus when you live on a house, it's a bit different obviously when you get ill, because you can run out of things. So you have to be mindful of your power, your water, your toilets are the three kind of main things. So how I got around this was, as you know, I put really good solar panels on the boat, so that kept the power topped up mostly. Being moored on the Shropshire Union, you have the trees that kind of go over, so that does limit how much solar you can get. But mostly there was enough power coming in to keep the telly running and the lights and things like that. So I would definitely say if you are living aboard, you should invest in good solar. Obviously you can run your engine to generate power, but you don't really, when you're ill, you don't really want to be sitting listening to an engine running for 8 hours. So I would definitely say invest in good solar for your power. The next thing is water. So whenever I go past a water point, I always make sure I fill up, even if my tank's not completely empty. Just make this part of a habit, because you never know when you're going to get stuck somewhere or when you need to moor in a location for a longer period of time. So I always keep my water tank topped up, and that really helped me on this occasion because I had just filled it. So I was able to last the 2 weeks of quarantine with enough water in the tank. Obviously I had to be a bit more conservative. I didn't use the washing machine and I had a shower kind of every other day, and that kept the water going for the 2 week period. The next sort of problem area is the toilet. So depending on what kind of toilet you have, you need to be aware of how this could last over a period of up to 2 weeks. So for me, I have the Thetford cassette toilet, so I always keep a couple of spare cassettes. So I have a total of 3 cassettes, and those lasted for the 2 weeks. So if you are living aboard and you have a Thetford cassette like me, just make sure you have a couple of spares. That way you've got a longer period of time before you need to go and empty them. So the other thing you need to be mindful of is food. Obviously when you're quarantining, we actually moved the boat quite out the way. So I'll show you where that was, and if you watched our last vlog you will be able to see that the boat was kind of moored right out the way. So one of the things I always do is keep quite a lot of tinned and dried food on the boat. I've always done this as part of a habit, because you don't know when you're going to need it or when you're not going to be able to get to the shops. So I was able to use up pretty much everything I had on the boat, and I also had Andrew nearby. As you know, if you've been following along on this journey, that we were cruising with Andrew, so he was able to get us some of the sort of fresher things, the day-to-day things, and some ice cream. So when I was ill, one of the things that I wanted to eat was ice cream, so Andrew picked up some of those for me. So thanks for that, Andrew. But yeah, I would say that it's definitely manageable to be ill and to be on the boat for a few weeks at a time, but it's not particularly pleasant. One of the things I found was I massively got cabin fever, and just not being able to be outside for any time really at all, and not having the energy to go outside. So I would still let the dogs out for a pee obviously, but that was about it. So I was stuck on the boat for over 2 weeks, didn't really see anybody, didn't really talk to anybody, so I didn't have much energy or anything like that. So yeah, it was a really isolating time and really difficult. Actually talking about it on film is kind of hard. I didn't expect for it to be as difficult as it has been. I've had to take so many reshots at this vlog and got myself so worked up trying to film it, just because I don't really want to think about the time. I don't want to relive it again because it was so horrible. So yeah, on a more positive note, I'm focusing more now on building up some strength and getting back to being me again. And I've been doing a lot of walking to try and build up a bit of fitness. Doing locks at the moment is quite hard, so I can only do a couple in a cruise. So we're taking a slow trip back to the marina. So yeah, we're planning on going back to the marina earlier than we were originally going to go back, because we don't feel fit enough to continue the cruise. I definitely can't do flights of locks and things. So as far as cruising plans for this year go, we're on our way back to Mercia, going to join a gym and try and get a bit of fitness back again and keep walking and cycling. So I'm also taking all the usual things that you would do after you've been ill, like multivitamins and trying to eat well. And whilst I was ill, I did have 2 asthma attacks, so I was on steroids and antibiotics. So yeah, my body's been through quite a lot over the last few weeks, so I'm just taking my time and trying to get back to good health again. So I'm just out for a walk at the moment. Since having COVID, I've been focusing on trying to build up some strength again and trying to get back some fitness. Doing locks and things at the moment is really hard, so I'm working on simple fitness and making sure I get outside and walk as much as I can for fresh air, but also, like I said, to build up some fitness again. So being stuck in the boat for a few weeks definitely gives you some form of cabin fever. Being in such a small space, not being able to go outside, not being able to do anything really, not having any strength to do anything, kind of gets to you a bit mentally after a while. So being outside, I'm making the most of being able to be outside now and being fit enough to go outside and walk. So you can really see here the seasons changing on the canal. It's much more autumnal now. I love looking at the autumn colours. You can see the oranges and the yellows and the greens. It was such a beautiful day when I went for a walk, so I just had to film it. So I'm really lucky to be able to be moored so close to Cannock Chase, so I've definitely been making the most of it whilst I've been here. So it's also really nice for the dogs to be able to get outside and just take their time and not be in any rush. When I had COVID, obviously, I had to let them out and get them back in as soon as possible. So I'm just letting them have a sniff around here and enjoy being outside. Thank you for watching this vlog. I hope that you found it useful and got something from it. If you do have any questions about things in more detail, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, thanks for your support. I really do appreciate it. So I'll see you next week. Bye!